This sets the stage for Genesis chapter 12, when God asks Abraham to leave his country, his family, his home, to go to a place God would show him. It was time to set into motion his great and eternal plan. He began to do this through a promise given to Abraham, a promise known as the Abrahamic covenant. God said, "I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and you will be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you." This personal promise given to Abraham can be called the top line of the covenant. But then God broadens the promise by adding, "And in you, all the nations of the earth will be blessed." This additional promise can be called the bottom line of the covenant. This is one covenant with two parts, separate, yet operating as one. The New Testament message of Jesus is a direct continuation of God's original plan and purpose promised to Abraham and his descendants. It is the bottom line in action. But who are the children of Abraham? In the new covenant, there are no more animal sacrifices because God, in Jesus, gave himself to replace them. The old covenant sacrifices in the temple with the Holy of Holies, where God dwelt behind a curtain, was a physical picture of a spiritual temple in heaven. Just as the earthly priest would enter once a year with the blood of animals to offer as a covering for the people, so Jesus entered the Holy of Holies in the heavenly temple, taking his own blood as an offering. By doing this, Jesus replaced the old way with the new because the blood of animals never really did take away sin. Those sacrifices had to be repeated over and over again. But the blood of Jesus was offered only once and accepted because it was the perfect covering required from the beginning of time. Jesus gave his human body. The moment he died, the curtain that had separated the people from God's presence was torn from top to bottom, as if hands from heaven had reached down to bring an end to that separation. Jesus' offering allows free access into God's presence at any time. He is now the spiritual priest forever. Sharing the bottom line blessings is in its very nature cross-cultural. And it's really been only in the last 200 years that the blessing of Jesus has gone around the world. Since believers today are no different than those of the past, wanting to only cling to our top-line blessings and to live in that security, God intervenes yet again. In many cultures, there are stories of redemptive analogies as a general revelation knowledge of God, the Creator. It is something that connects people to the message of Jesus so they can understand and accept it. The following are just a few of the many examples of how God prepared groups of people for the message of Jesus. The missionaries mentioned here are simply representative of thousands of whole covenant people, all who have their own story to tell.